Max is dead.
Yeah, we had to kill him. He tested really poorly with audiences, and so we put him down this morning.
Welcome back to the Cape and Cowl podcast. I'm Ryan,
I'm Gabe.
and that was a
Well, I
very
guess,
long
and I'm
pause
Gabe.
because, yeah, Max is gone, so he'll be removed permanently and never coming
Oh,
back.
he'll be back with us next week, hopefully. He just thought he had more important things to do tonight.
Which is very rude because we are literally talking about movies and stuff, and he is going to see a
Talk.
movie. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so lame. We're
But
talking about more WonderMan today.
WonderMan Part 2, segment other half of the segment of the 8 episodes
Yeah,
we got released.
yeah,
That's the
it's
title of this
fantastic.
video.
Before we,
Sorry,
yeah,
continue.
before we talk about this Wonder Man episodes, there are a few things that have been swirling about in the news this week that I want to address. Um, First thing is that we're hearing the X-Men movie, the MCU X-Men movie, is going to start filming right after Secret Wars wraps. So if that ends up being a two-parter, which it's seeming increasingly likely that it will, I think earliest we get the X-Men is 2029.
Oh man, we're gonna be so old by that time, but we'll still
I know,
be
but you know what?
we'll be
If
making.
it's good, can we complain? We can't complain.
I'm really excited to see what they do with this reboot because they didn't botch it the first time, but they definitely could have done more with it.
They did not. Look, those original X-Men movies are not terrible, but they're not great. Like the only really great movie in there is X2. X1 is okay, and I think X-Men: The Last Stand is bad. I don't like X-Men: The Last Stand. They just didn't do the Phoenix stuff right.
Yeah, I don't think that
But you know,
I
what are
don't
you
think
gonna
I
do?
remember those. I think I kind of blocked them out. I recently watched X1
I mean,
and
if you did,
X2, but I think I
understand.
definitely agree X2 is much better than X1. X-Men, I mean.
X2 is great. Like X2 is like a top 15 superhero movie for me at least. It's a solid film.
Yeah. And it had such like it built so much up and it delved into Wolverine's backstory. There's a lot of content in that.
Right. The other thing that we're hearing about that X-Men movie is that the main villains in that are going to be Mr. Sinister, who is like a top 10 Marvel villain for me overall. I love Mr. Sinister. They're also talking that potentially he's going to be the overarching villain for the saga, which I would also be fine with because, again, Mr. Sinister's great. But the other thing is that X-Men movie, that first MCU X-Men movie, is supposed to have Mojo as a co-lead or a co-villain rather, which is just insane because Mojo is a bizarre character. If you don't know who Mojo is,
I
go
don't.
look up a picture of him.
Okay, I
Oh,
will.
he's like this. Yeah, he's like this gross little fat alien dude with like robot skeleton legs, and his whole thing is like he's this ruler of another dimension where he like makes people battle for his TV universe. He's like this creepy little gross dude. And so to introduce him in the first X-Men movie is just do you seen a picture of him?
Uh hold on. Mojo?
Mojo, yeah.
Oh boy.
We'll put a picture on screen for you to see if you don't know what Mojo looks
Yeah, let
like.
me pull him up right here. Oh my gosh. This guy is I'm trying to find a good picture without having a newsletter on it. Open link in new tab. There we go.
But
Here
yeah,
he
no, he's
is.
just a bizarre character who is cool. I like him, but I just think it's really interesting for him to be introduced in the first X-Men movie. So I guess we'll see what they do with that.
Yeah. That's going to be especially if Mr. Sinister is going to be a reoccurring villain in the whole saga. I think Mojo will be a good like goon for him. But yeah,
The other thing I want to talk about is that we are hearing reports that number one, Wonder Man will be in Avengers Doomsday.
wow,
Cool, cool. We're also hearing that Marvel is very close to greenlighting Wonder Man season 2,
that's good.
which they absolutely
Yeah, I'll get into this about what I kind of am excited for and disappointed about the end of season 1, but I think season 2 will do a great job of. I don't know. Let's talk about the show first, and then I'll get into my thoughts on that. But
Yeah. So we'll do a series overview today, but we're also going to mainly focus on the last 4 episodes of Wonder Man season 1. Hopefully season 1 and not just the full series. Found
right.
footage, callback, Kathleen Friedman, and Yucca Valley. So those are episodes 5, 6, 7, and 8 of
Yeah,
Wonder Man.
yeah, and I don't know
I
about
will.
you, Gabe, but I watched these 4 episodes all in a row, and
I also did that.
I could not stop.
Oh, me either. So first, I mean, we can basically skip episode 5 because nothing much happened in it, but it was so wonderfully fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it was so inconsequential, right? It was literally just this like side quest that Trevor and Simon were on with like peach rings and
Yeah.
the cops and mob boss guys. I mean, it was crazy, but it was so fantastic. Trevor was so good in that episode.
Oh yeah. He really
I
showed.
mean, when he was just like, I think we've picked the wrong man. Esteban's our guy. He makes good peach rings. Try a peach ring, Trevor or Simon.
It's
I
the
was like, oh
best
my
you've
gosh,
ever
this is
had.
amazing.
Yeah. The perfect blend
It
of
was
spice
so
and sweet.
funny.
Oh man. And it really showed how
It
where
was great.
Trevor's morals lie. Like he might have played this Mandarin character, he might have played this terrorist, but him as a person, his values, he values like, you know, hard work and dedication and trust. And that who was even the
Yeah,
guy's name? The guy that stole the bike?
I can't remember the guy who stole the bike. I think the other guy's name was Esteban, right?
Oh yeah, Esteban.
Is it
Yeah, he
Esteban or
was.
am I thinking that?
I think it was Esteban. I think you're right. But he was, man. I just wanted to punch his little punk face.
No, not Esteban. Esteban's the guy who made the
Oh,
peach
who
rings.
made the
That
peach
was
rings?
that was the
Oh,
guy
he
who
was
got the bike
awesome.
stolen from it.
Oh well,
It
whatever
was
the other guy
great.
is.
No, I can't
The guy on
remember
the scooter.
the
Yeah.
other guy. The guy who got the video of Simon fighting.
Right. Right. Which I think it I could see why they made that the conflict of the episode, but if he actually posted it on YouTube, I don't know how many people would actually see that, how many people would recognize it's Simon, but also he is a semi-famous actor, and that kind of coverage would probably destroy him.
Well, right. And the other thing is, I mean, the ODC would have seen that and said it was proof, and they probably would have arrested him. But Simon could have been like, "It was CGI. It wasn't
Right,
real."
it's AI. It's not me.
But I mean,
That's not
there was
much.
probably a good chance the video would have got him in trouble.
Right. But I just love how he just zipped around on his stupid scooter, and the LA traffic really was a real setback for Simon and Trevor. But it didn't.
I loved that line in there where he's like, "Oh, you're gonna use your super speed." He's like, "I'm gonna use my car, Trevor." Does that
So does it mean
mean you do or do not have super speed?
Because yeah, he doesn't know. Oh man, I wonder if Simon. I mean,
Oh man.
yeah, I wonder if Simon could have super speed if he really focused on it. But
I mean, maybe. I think his powers seem to be more like energy manipulation kind of stuff.
right, Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was that episode. Very, very light, very unconsequential, even though there were such high stakes for Simon's sake. But yeah.
Right.
Um,
Uh, then the next episode was all about the callback. So that was basically they went to Von Kovac's house, and like the whole episode was just them doing acting exercises in the house, and like again, pretty low stakes compared to what we're used to. But I really, really enjoyed it, and it felt high stakes. And
no,
like
yeah.
we know from the trailers and from the way the show was pitched that they were gonna land those roles. But I was still like concerned for them that they weren't gonna land the roles, you know?
Yeah, especially when Simon punches the guy's head through. I thought that
Did
was
you
real
think
for
that
a
was
second.
real? I thought,
Really?
me too.
Cuz like
I
it
was in utter shock.
cuz the
Although I
scene went
did see,
seamlessly. Yeah.
yeah. Oh my gosh, there was not an indication that that was a dream at all. I thought that was very real, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how is he going to get out of this?
How is he?
But
Yeah.
no, it was a dream. Although we should point out, I saw on Instagram, and I
Yep.
sent this to Ryan, that in the canon of the MCU,
Doctor
dreams
Strange,
are
right?
us viewing. Yes, based on Doctor Strange, dreams are us viewing ourselves across the multiverse. So that means in some universe, Simon did punch that dude in the face.
And he would
Through his
have
face.
his universe would have been pruned, bro. Like he would have been on the run.
Yeah, that was crazy. I thought it was real. I really thought it was real.
Yeah, but like
Terrified me. For
what you were
a
saying
second there.
before with like the high stakes and the low stakes, like they really built that tension, and you could really see Simon struggling because, like, he was saying that he didn't have sleep. Like, imagine if you were up for that long chasing around some guy after going to the bar. Like, you would be tired, and to put so much effort into acting and stuff, like that would be. Man, I don't blame Trevor for. I don't blame Simon for complaining so much.
Right. No, I agree. And I all those acting exercises in Von Kovac's house, I thought were just so funny. You know,
So
Trevor's whole
unconventional.
thing where he just literally what he just kept saying no, right? It was like the
Yeah.
wife.
Yeah.
And just kept,
No.
no, no, no.
It was so.
It was great.
Yeah. And I love the way that.
But like,
Yeah.
no, I was just gonna say like this show proves that like when we saw Iron Man 3 and we got the Mandarin twist and it was revealed it was Trevor, it's like this is dumb, right? This is
Right.
clearly some drunk. But we're seeing now, no, Trevor is a very serious actor who cares about his craft. He
Yeah.
really does.
And like he's scared like a lot
And
of kids.
Mandarin-
And yeah.
Yeah, the
He had
Mandarin
that
was just a bad role he took. And he was under the influence of drugs and alcohol and
Mm-hmm.
but no, he really is a serious actor.
Yeah. Didn't we get that clip at the beginning of episode 5 or 6? I mean.
It might have been episode.
Yeah.
It was 5 or 6. Yeah, the beginning of the episode, we got a flashback to him auditioning for the Mandarin, and we got him starting to figure out some of his Mandarinisms.
Yeah. Oh, it was so goosebumpy, mind chilling. What was it? Yeah. Shivers down my spine.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I want to mention is anytime they talked about a project that Trevor Slattery has been in, I don't know if you know this, those are all real things that Ben Kingsley, the actor who plays Trevor,
Yeah.
has been in our real life.
So
Basically, instead
during
of
like
having
when they
Ben
were all
Kingsley
chatting.
in the MCU, yeah, whenever they talk about movies or stuff or plays he'd been in, it's all real Ben Kingsley projects. So just instead of having Ben Kingsley in the MCU, it's Trevor.
That's so awesome.
All of Ben Kingsley's stuff was still made, but by Trevor Slattery.
Yeah. And that kind of makes sense because he played the Mandarin in the third movie. Like he actually played that character in real life. Yeah. I really liked the way that wait, what was his name? Van Kilmer, the director.
Van Kovac.
Von Kovac.
Van Kovac.
Von Kovac. I love the way that he like described the opening scene to WonderMan, and it just like he described it so well that like if I was in that room, I could see his vision. And then, of course, Trevor ruined the moment with his trombone. But
Oh, Trevor. You know that Von Kovac is the guy who played the president of Moravia in Superman, right?
I need to rewatch that movie. Was that when all the kids raised the superhero flag and he was like the bad guy?
Yeah, he was the president of that country. Yeah,
Right.
it was working with Lex.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he's such a good actor.
Yeah, same actor. Yeah. So then at the end of the episode, we, after finally Simon has decided to be himself, and he's let it all go. Simon and Trevor are given the roles in the movie, and so we found out at the end of episode 6 that they're given these roles in the movie. I don't know about you, I did not think it was going to take this long.
Oh yeah.
The show was a totally different show than I thought it was going to be. I thought like episode 2, they'd be given these roles, and then we would, spend the rest of the show
Dissecting WonderMan, seeing what
watching
WonderMan.
them.
Right.
Yeah, in like making the movie. There wasn't actually much making of the movie in the show. It ended up being a character study, which is fine. It was great. It just wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, and I kind of hope that they make a WonderMan movie in between if they make season 2. If they go between seasons 1 and 2, if they give us like a... Because we saw that one clip at the end of, the end of the show, but I was really looking forward to seeing how they make this movie. And we kind of got that with the costumes. I really enjoyed seeing their costumes and stuff in that. And just how they all interact with the staff and the crew.
Right. Yeah, so then we're on to episode 7, which is the only episode that really does actually show us that making of the movie, like you said. And so it's Trevor and Simon. They're getting fitted for costumes. They're, doing some work in the movie. But the main conflict is they're being interviewed by Kathy Friedman, who's this big entertainment reporter who can basically make or break your career.
Yeah,
right?
Very
She'll
much a
watch you
scary critic. Very scary
Yes.
and brutally honest. Yeah.
Yeah, she'll watch how you behave on set, and then she'll either, write a very nice article about you or a very poor article about you. So Simon's super freaked out about that, and he gets some tips from Trevor along the way, remember people's names, speak to them directly, basically don't be a jerk. I mean, that's what it came to. And then people will like you, and she'll like you, and so we watch a lot.
And it's really interesting to see how he does interact with other people, because he always has his guard up and he can never be like truly himself because of his powers. And so like when he's this movie star, he kind of gets that jerky mentality like, oh, everybody's looking at me, so I have to put on this like nice face, but also he doesn't. I could tell that he didn't really care, and he was mainly friends with Trevor because Trevor knows his secret, and that's how he could really connect with Trevor, and why they're such great friends in that episode, because like they're basically inseparable during that entire episode.
Right, and that really is the challenge. Is Trevor can be loose and he can be kind to these people. Simon can't, because to a point he is keeping a secret from everybody, and he's always kind of got to be on guard, and so there's always that edge in his mind that's like preventing him from just being I guess a good person, for lack of a better word.
And during that entire episode, when he's chasing down like who she's talked to already, like his ex-girlfriend, his family, and before I continue, that interaction with him and his ex-girlfriend Was that during episode 7 or 8?
Painful.
Oh my gosh, it was.
It was during episode 7.
Yeah. Jeez.
Painful to watch.
So like he only brought her there for his own reasons, and she knew that. And like he didn't really care about how she was doing. He didn't even know that she was staying in LA. Yikes.
Yeah. And I mean, it's kind of one of the other nice things about the show. Simon's not a good person.
Yeah.
Simon's kind of a jerk. I
Yeah,
mean, he
even in
grows, but he kind
Right.
of sucks.
Even in like the third episode, everybody calls him like he's like, yeah, I have been known to be called a dick, or like mostly like closed off and stuff. And so he's not really made
Yeah.
to be a likable character right off the bat, but yeah, this show really helps him build his person.
Yeah. And so then right at the end of the episode, we get this interview. There's one-on-one interviews with Kathy Friedman and Trevor and Simon. And she interviews Simon, and it's very nice, and she talks about how all of the people she's talked to, including his brother, who he was very worried was gonna be horrible, was very positive and very, very nice. And then she starts to dig into Trevor and talks about the fact that, he should be in jail and all of that. The airport confrontation that we saw at the start of episode 2, and he gets very defensive, and he talks about, he did not cut a deal with the government. Well, maybe he did. And
Maybe he did.
He just gets very,
Yeah.
very sketchy about it, and he marches out of the interview. And then Simon goes and confronts him.
And that whole
And
time, like the whole episode, Simon, and so were we in turn with Simon. We were concerned with how that interview will affect him. But I don't know about you, but I never once thought about how Trevor's like background with the Mandarin or like arrest would show up, because Simon was so focused on himself. And then in that just like completely like didn't realize that Trevor is basically a wanted terrorist, and like he's been chilling around and going places like a normal person would, but he's supposed to be in jail.
Yeah, I really didn't think about it either. They go over to, I think it's Trevor's trailer, maybe it's Simon's trailer. It doesn't really matter whose trailer it is. They go over to somebody's trailer, and they have, it's really a heartbreaking confrontation. It was sad, where Trevor admitted that, I was spying on you for damage control, and he tries to explain himself, and he tries to be like, look, no, like, I was spying on you, but I wasn't gonna give him anything, and all that. But Simon's, I think understandably and probably rightfully feels betrayed.
Yeah, because he thought he knew, like, this is his only friend, really. Because, like, Trevor asked him, where are all your friends? And he's like, he doesn't have any friends. Trevor is the only one that really knows him. And, of course, he has to know him because he's reporting to the damage control. And that, like, Simon's whole reason of trusting Trevor is just, like, gone now.
Yeah, which is, it was sad to watch both of those men just watch the friendship dissolve. So Simon leaves the trailer, walks through the set. You can see him getting angry. You can see his powers really acting up, and then he goes onto that studio, like into that set on the lot, and just lets it all out and
Bombs
blows
the
it
place.
up.
Yep.
Yeah, the
Full
biggest
on.
explosion we've seen yet on the show. And that's how it ends. Which
Yeah.
I don't know about you. I was like, well, I can't stop now.
Yeah. I had to watch that last
Watching
episode.
them, I was watching them late at night. Yeah, and I was like not planning on watching all four back to back, but I couldn't stop.
And like we said last episode,
So
they're like 20 minutes long, so they're doable to just sit through and watch. Like all
yeah,
of them.
20, sometimes 30 minutes, which is very, very reasonable.
Yeah.
Especially I've been trying to catch up, so I've been doing Invincible, and I've been doing Daredevil, and I've been doing The Boys. And I mean, the shortest of those is 45 minutes,
Maybe at best,
you know.
yeah. Usually an hour.
Yeah, at best. And so I really do appreciate every once in a while. I like long form TV. I think it's appropriate for
Yeah.
certain types of TV, prestige TV especially, which all three of those shows, I think, to an extent are. But man, like there is something to be said about just a good 20, 30 minute, easy, turn off your brain kind of watch that
Yeah.
this tapped into, and I really appreciated it.
Yeah, and then dang, to start off episode 8, like I don't know. They did a really good job of paralleling the police showing up at Trevor, cuz Simon thinks that he's done for. Like there's no way that he's not getting caught from this. Like he knows that Trevor's been spying, he knows that the damage control knows him, and like he just did he did a lot of destruction on his own set. So there's really two culprits. Like there's not much place for him to hide. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I mean that's really how it starts out. Is you're sitting there, waiting for something to happen to Simon, and Trevor, being the wonderful gem of a human being that he is, realizes that his career is over, and Simon's is just beginning. So he takes the fall in my favorite sequence of the show, the
Oh,
return of the Mandarin.
You'll never see me coming.
I mean, it's the whole, he puts in the costume and everything, and it's a lot of the iconic lines back from
From episode 3.
2013, from Iron Man 3,
No.
I'm going, "Oh, America, and you'll never see me coming." But also, I did that. I mean, all of that.
Yeah.
It's such a good delivery. I mean, I was so excited. I'm like, "Oh, we're doing the Mandarin again."
It's back. It's another lesson. Yeah. And just to see like how he impacted.
And I thought, and I think.
Did you could you
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Okay. Just to see how he impacted the Peach Rings kids in the past, like how they viewed him as like, oh, he was really scary, but now he's in our house. And I wonder if their opinion's going to change about him, or if they're like, no, this something feels off about this. But like the rest of the world, they're going to see Trevor's arrest, and they're going to see this, and yeah.
I think most people probably think he's really the Mandarin.
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't they, right? Like, he admitted it on TV. I mean, I'll be so honest. I would believe it.
Yeah.
Why would I think that somebody else? I mean, if he came out and admitted it, and like,
Especially 13 years
to be a
later.
terrorist and everything,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd buy it.
Yeah. Which
So,
brings us to the second act of this episode, where Trevor has basically, not Trevor, Simon has basically put himself in another life, and he's studying a local farmer for his, or well, not farmer that we learn later, but studying a role for studying his character for the next role that he's moving. This is big movie that he's making, and
how long did it take you to figure out he was DODC?
once, honestly, once they went to the prison, I found out. I realized, like, oh, this is why he's doing it. When did you?
I started to have my suspicions just a little bit before they went to the prison. For a while, I'm like, really, what is this? Then I'm like, I wonder if this
Oh,
is DODC and he's gonna break in, and sure enough, he did.
yeah. When they were talking at the family dinner table, I was like, okay, this is not exactly what it's looking like. But I mean, I thought they were working on a new project, and I was like, what a boring movie this is gonna be.
I know, right? I'm like seriously, this is how we're gonna end Wonder Man? Like, we got the. I mean, we skipped over. His movie gets released. It's a big hit.
Oh right, right, right.
All of that. Um, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like, oh, this is how
going
it went.
back. The fact that they replaced Trevor with the other guy after.
Joe Pantoliano.
Oh my gosh, Joe. That frustrated me very much. I was like, "Are you serious? This guy?" Yeah.
Yeah,
But it was
but
nice to see his sister was there supporting him, and he Trevor gave him good advice to hold off on other projects. So Simon has a bright future. But well, yeah,
well, maybe he does.
maybe he
No,
does.
because now circling back to where we were. Yep, turns out he's studying, quote unquote, studying, a DODC official, a guard, and
Yeah,
he's able to break in, and he sees Trevor, and
he
he basically accepts Trevor's apology. Because Trevor went to jail for him. If that's an apology, I guess.
he
And
really took the
they,
fall. Yeah,
yeah, Simon activates his powers, which are like this molecular force field
Yeah,
thing. Um, and he grabs Trevor and he flies through the ceiling, and then that's where we leave off
yeah. What a
with Agent Clea looking up in the ceiling.
what a great ending. But what a
And I mean,
terrible ending, actually, because in my opinion, I think that Trevor should have stayed in jail just for a little bit longer, but we could have seen him maybe like trying to find a way, or maybe we get like the Red Hulk or someone else that we've seen previously in jail with him, and that sets up season 2. But this was a nice ending to season 1, and it really wrapped everything up. So I can see why they did it.
yeah. So we've got now just, I mean, a few lingering questions. Um, Number one, is Simon a mutant?
Oh yeah.
I think he
Uh,
might be.
I
Uh,
would definitely agree. We didn't. Did we ever like confirm how he got his powers?
they never talked about how he got his powers, but it seems like they manifested at puberty. It's a very mutant thing.
Yeah.
So I would not at all be upset if going forward, now that we're gonna have a bigger focus on mutants than on the X-Men, after Secret Wars is done, if Simon becomes a big player in that. I think
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of
And
fun.
especially since he comes back in Doomsday, then he'll be able to interact with other mutants and see that his powers are like dangerous, but also are ways to train and to maintain them.
Yeah.
And it
The
seems
other
like by the end of the episode or the end of the season, he's had a bit more grasp of his powers because he can literally will himself to fly. Like unless he's been working on that for a while, but we hadn't seen any of that during the movie at all, or the show.
Right. Yeah. No, it seems like he's been working on his powers. The other thing I think is not a lingering question, more so just a when, how might we see Simon next? So the guy who directed this is the same guy who directed Shang-Chi,
Mm-hmm.
and is the same guy who's going to be directing the next Spider-Man movie. I gotta say, Daniel Destin, or Destin Daniel Cretton. Yeah. Yeah, Destin Daniel Cretton. I mean, I was very, very happy with Shang-Chi. I thought he was very good there. I mean, this solidifies him as a go-to Marvel director for me. Like, give him whatever he wants, man. I mean, he did such a good job on this, and he did such a good job on Shang-Chi. And my confidence in Spider-Man has just skyrocketed because, like, yeah, he's made two fantastic Marvel projects. Um, but with that being said, I think it's very, very likely that we'll see Trevor and Simon again in a Shang-Chi sequel. I think it would make a lot of sense for him to pull those characters into his other franchise.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh,
I wonder
Trevor
if.
was,
Mhm.
Trevor was in Ta Lo before he left. Um, Maybe that's where they go to hide from the government. They go hide in Ta Lo again. I don't know if Trevor could even get through there. The only way he was able to get through the maze of trees the first time is because he had his little faceless buddy Morris with him. Um, so who knows? Maybe he can't get back in. But if he could, maybe Ta Lo is where they go to hide.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something, then I forgot. Well, that's really helpful for the pod.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah, I wonder, since both Trevor and Simon now are running from the government, if they're going to be, like, I don't know, just like hiding out in different places. Oh, that's what it was. I wonder if Doorman will help them escape through realities so they aren't like getting chased by the government if Doorman's going to show up again. Like, we haven't seen him since episode 4, and I kind of thought that we'd see him more throughout the series.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be at all opposed if Doorman came back. He was awesome.
Yeah.
But I do think, you know, a potential for season two could very much just be like a buddy road trip show, right? Like
Yeah.
literally just Simon and Trevor on the run the whole season.
Yeah,
Because I mean, as much as this movie was about, or sorry, this series was about making a movie, it wasn't really about making a movie per se. It was focused on the characters of Trevor and Simon. And so I think as long as you have those two characters, you can do whatever you want with the show.
yeah.
You know, it could be just Trevor and Simon on the run. Like that would be fine. I think a very logical conclusion for where this goes next.
And I think they've been kind of uh, less focused on superheroed individuals, or like physically superpowered, or I don't know how'd you say it, like elementally or magically powered individuals. Like, maybe Doctor Strange could help him, or like, there aren't, we've seen more instances of superheroes more often in like regular lives, when before we've had Iron Man with his tech who didn't really have superpowers, Captain America with the serum, and just like very, very rare occurrences of super powered humans. And so with this new wave of Marvel, I bet that I wonder if they'll discover other, maybe like a secret underground superhero meetup or something like that. Really explore Simon's origin of his powers and other people like him.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot they could do with this.
Yeah.
So, with all of our, kind of analysis and questions for episodes 5 through 8 out of the way, what were your thoughts on Wonder Man as a whole, and where does it rank in terms of Marvel TV shows?
Ooh, oh boy. All right, let's see. So, overall, I think that Wonder Man was a wonderful show. Thank you, thank you. But I think the length of it was perfect. 8 episodes didn't push it. I would have liked 12 or maybe 16, but I think 8 was a great start just to see how it would perform. And the advertising, very much, I think the advertising matched the content of the show pretty well. Definitely not what I expected. I thought there would be more superhero power use and he kind of tried not to use them as much as he could. So that was something that I did not expect, but I really enjoyed how much they focused on building that character and building how he interacts with others and really showing who Simon is as a person.
But I mean, really, how refreshing for the show not to end with, a giant CGI battle in the sky, like half these other shows and movies end with.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very high stakes for a different reason.
Exactly.
I would definitely rate it high in the Marvel TV series. I don't think it beats WandaVision. I might be blinded by nostalgia by that, but I just loved
I think you're right.
build up, and thank you. And also, it's hard to beat the first because they really went all out for WandaVision. I think it definitely beats Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think they tried.
100%.
Oh yeah, they did well.
I don't like the show at all.
I like John Walker. But otherwise, yeah, Bucky was so mean in that show, but also it makes sense. Ugh.
You should do a full ranking of the MCU at some point in time. You'll see I have that show very low in my ranking.
I don't blame you. But I think that Falcon and the Winter Soldier tried to do something similar to WonderMan with its social commentary almost, but WonderMan did it so much better. And let's see, Loki I think is higher, just because of the time travel aspect. I love that for Loki. But honestly, I think it might be above Moon Knight.
I would agree with that. I got a hot take. I don't think Moon Knight's that good.
I think
a lot of people really like that show. I don't get the hype for it. I've tried several times. I don't like it that much.
I think the first watch is the best because once you understand what's happening in those last two episodes, it's kind of like, oh. But also, they just ended it so terribly.
They did.
I really wish we got Did we get a season 2 of that?
No, and we might never get a season 2. Oscar Isaac has no interest in working with Disney right now, so
you know what?
We'll see.
Good on him.
That character ever comes back.
Yeah, he needs to. He's played too many poor characters in Disney.
Yeah,
they really botched his characters, but also Poe Dameron is pretty cool.
The only thing that makes me sad is I think at some point in time we are going to get a Midnight Suns movie, which, for those of you who don't know, is kind of just like Marvel's
Suicide Squad?
I guess not Suicide Squad. I guess like
Shazam.
Monster Avengers, for lack of a better word.
Oh,
it's like Blade and Ghost Rider and sometimes Doctor Strange.
Who's playing Ghost Rider? Is that Ryan Gosling?
Maybe. That was a rumor. That was never confirmed, but I hope so. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be really sick. I love Ryan Gosling. He's such a good actor.
I do too.
But what would be your ranking of WonderMan?
Yeah, it's a top 5 Marvel show for me, for sure. I give the show overall a 9 out of 10. I should be very clear and transparent with anybody who's listening. The way I do my rankings, 9 out of 10 is pretty much as good as you can get. I am very, very stingy on my 10 out of 10s. Typically, I will
10
give
is the best.
Right. The only movie I have ever given a 10 out of 10 to, and objectively, it isn't even a 10 out of 10. It's purely just because of the way it made me feel and continues to make me feel every time I watch it, is Avengers Endgame. It's the only movie I've ever given a 10 out of 10 to. And I
Yeah.
have given a 10 out of 10 to Modern Family because I love that show.
Yeah.
It's like perfect. Every episode made me laugh. So like that show got a 10 out of 10. And the only other things I've given 10 out of 10s to are individual episodes of TV. So there's like an episode of Agatha All Along that I gave it a 10 out of 10 to. Several episodes of Andor I gave 10 out of 10 to. Some episodes of the Clone Wars got 10 out of 10. One episode of Daredevil got a 10 out of 10. So basically all that to say that 9 out of 10 is like as good as you're going to get for my ranking in most cases.
Yeah.
So Wonder Man is a 9 out of 10.
And I think it deserves that. I don't think it deserves that 10
I think
out of
it probably
10.
falls.
But I think it's close. It falls.
Yeah, it's just you gotta be basically perfect
Right.
to be a 10 out of 10. But I think Loki is the best Marvel show.
Yeah.
WandaVision's very high up for me.
No, Loki is just
Daredevil
a
is very high up
show.
for me.
I love Loki so much.
It is. It really is. Yeah.
Daredevil's-
WandaVision's a borderline show as well.
Oh yeah.
Daredevil's really, really good. So that's very high up on my list as well. Agatha All Along I also thought was very, very good. So that's very high on my list. So Wonder Man probably falls in the number 5 spot. Probably right behind Agatha All Along. It's still incredibly good. It's I mean, really one of the best and most unique things Marvel has done in a long time.
Yeah, it's so much more personal. It feels more personal than the other superheroes with that lack of action, but also just it really shows the humanness of acting. Because like it takes a certain kind of skill to act as an actor, right? Like you have these characters.
Yeah. I've seen pointed out, so this isn't an original thought, but people have mentioned a lot of times we'll see actors act badly, right? Like they'll be playing a bad actor in a movie or TV show.
Right.
And that's funny to watch, right? It's like, oh, this really talented actor's playing somebody who's failing on stage. It's not often that we see actors playing actors who are good actors.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
they
so
have to be good at acting to play this character who is good at acting. Yeah,
Ivan
literally.
really is a good actor, and you're seeing his method, and you're seeing all of that, and like, yeah, that's a good actor.
Yeah, yeah, and he really gets that. You can feel that emotion behind, like that scene on the balcony in the mansion during the audition, like that. I almost thought that the director would come out and be like, "That's it. That's what I was looking for," and then
that's exactly what I thought it was going to be as well.
But they were able to segment that moment and bring it back with them, and that feeling and that soul of acting. They really do a great job during the entire show. Also, the script is well written. Like, that's a good script.
Yeah, very well written.
Yeah.
Everything about the show was just incredibly impressive. And, last week, I said that it was dumb that they dropped it as a binge drop. They should have done it weekly.
Mm-hmm.
Looking back on it, I still don't know that it should have been a binge drop. Maybe it should have been 2 batches, like the way we watched it, 4 episodes and 4 episodes. But I don't know that a weekly release would have been satisfying.
Yeah,
because
I think
the episodes were so character focused. There would be episodes where like nothing would happen.
Right. Especially that episode 5, I would have been pissed if that got released. And then I just watched that. But watching it back to back to back.
You had to wait a week.
Yeah, literally. I do think that it would have been cool to release episodes 1 through 7 and then saving that episode 8. Or having Trevor get arrested as the end of episode 7 and really like fleshing out that jailbreak scene in episode 8, making it like an hour-long episode compared to the 20-minute other ones. That, I think, would have been...
Yeah, that could have been interesting.
But also, that might have taken a lot more time. But I think I still think they... Just building that hype for that final episode.
Yeah, I do appreciate it. Like, Marvel tends to know, like, when episodes should be dropped 2 at a time, or, you know, weekly or binge drops. Like, they tend to get it. I guess all along, they did a 2-episode premiere, and then they did weekly episodes for the most of the run, and then episodes 8 and 9 dropped in the same day, and I was like, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, that's kind of anticlimactic.
Well, you would think so, but the way that show functions, have you seen it?
I was actually just thinking about watching it tonight, so no, I haven't seen it yet.
Highly recommend watching it. But the way that show works is that episode 8 is basically the finale. That's when the big battle happens and everything. And then episode 9 is like a 40-minute epilogue.
Oh.
It's really unique. It works quite well. But yeah, had they dropped episode 8, then I had to wait a week for episode 9, I would not have been satisfied with episode 9.
Yeah.
But watching them back to back, okay, I get it. This is a whole epilogue to the show, and it worked beautifully. I mean,
Well,
that was
then,
a really
really
well-written show.
Nice.
So I mean, Marvel does tend to know, you know, when to binge drop, when to do batches, when to do weekly. So I mean, I criticize them, but kudos. I think they did it right by doing a binge drop with this show.
Yeah, especially making some of those episodes shorter. They could have even made this a movie, but I'm glad that they made it a show.
Could've.
This is like the perfect show, like length.
Yeah. I mean, when you put it together, it probably is about a 3-hour long movie.
Right. Yeah. I do hope they explore Doorman, because as important as episode 4 was, it kind of feels out of place, and that really makes it like an interesting episode. But I really thought that they were setting up Doorman to show up later in the season.
Yeah. But I guess not.
Maybe we'll see
I hope
him
he comes back.
I do too. I hope we see Josh Gad. I bet there's going to be some sort of...
I really hope they answer the Josh Gad question.
Because I kind of touched on this, and I wanted your thoughts on this in the last episode. The Roxxon, like, container dump, that was the first time we've seen Roxxon mentioned in the MCU. And...
Not the first time we've seen it mentioned, but the first time they've done something significant.
Yeah.
They're typically, you know, you'll see like a Roxxon truck or Roxxon logo in the back. They had a fairly significant role in a court case in Daredevil, but like that was the Netflix show, so the canonicity of it is kind of loose and weird. So yes, this was really the first time Roxxon has done something major in the MCU.
And so with the new Spider-Man movie coming out, I wonder, because at least in the video game, the Spider-Man Miles Morales video game, Miles was up against the corporation of Roxxon. And so maybe Brand New Day will introduce Miles Morales, and Roxxon will be a main villain in that movie.
Yeah, you've played the game, so you probably know a little bit more about this than I do. Is Mr. Negative tied to Roxxon, or is that a separate thing? I can't remember quite how he works.
So Mr. Negative, in the video game at least, is in the first Spider-Man, and once you defeat him, then the Roxxon Corporation... he doesn't get replaced because Mr. Negative was volunteering at a homeless shelter. So that whole thing, I don't even remember what it was called. But in the Miles Morales show, his best friend basically tries to stop Roxxon from building a power plant that will basically is super unstable and would like destroy the city, and so Miles has to stop the corporation. So they aren't Spider-Man. Peter Parker doesn't deal with Roxxon at all, but they have like a bunch of tech, Roxxon tech, which
Gotcha.
Miles.
I follow now.
Yeah. So, but also the video games aren't canon. Well, they kind of are with Spider-Verse, but that's a Sony project.
Yeah.
So they aren't really canon. But I'm excited because I think Roxxon would be a good startup for, or if they bring back Oscorp and Osborn in the Brand New Day. I think that'll be a good setup for that.
I think there's a good chance. We have been hearing, Mr. Negative rumors for a while. We've heard that Joe Keery might be Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
So that that implies Oscorp. So I mean, we'll see what happens. We still don't know, and we probably won't know by this weekend. I've been saying for like the last 3 episodes that we were going to be doing reviews of the Super Bowl trailers. Well,
wow.
now it sounds like they're not putting Super Bowl trailers out.
That is
Marvel's not doing
unbelievable.
Super Bowl trailers.
I think they're
You know what it
really
was?
dropping the ball.
No, they're not dropping the ball. They saw that we were excited about it, and they're doing it to spite us specifically.
That's right. Yeah, they've seen the pod. They've seen our reactions. They don't like our takes. So we're sorry. The Super Bowl ads have been removed because of our pod. Whew, dang.
So
that's how we have to tell you guys.
yeah. So if on the off chance that the reports are wrong and the Super Bowl trailers do come out this weekend, you'll know because you're listening to this on a Monday. We will
True.
do a video on it, but
I still
if
think
they
we should do a
don't, and we
stream
don't
for
think-
that. But yeah, if it happens, which maybe they're just doing reverse psychology, and once all the leakers and all the news networks say that they aren't going to release one, then they do, and that's going to be so hype if they do. But also, maybe I'm just optimistic.
My understanding is that like a 30-second spot cost like $10 million this year, which is insane.
Well, yeah, that's a little
And
bit
I
of
think-
money.
Right. And Marvel's probably like, look, why are we going to spend $10 million when Doomsday and Spider-Man are already the talk of the town? We don't need to advertise them.
Yeah,
We don't need to
that's
spend Super Bowl
fair.
dollars because we don't need people to see it at the Super Bowl. Because if they drop it online, everybody's still going to watch it.
Right, that's true. And
We are supposedly still getting a Spider-Man trailer this month. It just won't be at the Super Bowl.
It should be at the same time as the Super Bowl, but there's just some sort of energy that you feel when you're watching the Super Bowl, and then the ads come out, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, these ads are the best!"
Yeah,
I
the
really-
Deadpool trailer.
Yeah, and just like all the goofy stuff that they do, like for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we're still getting some trailers that I am interested in. Mandalorian and Grogu being the main one, but there's a Minions 3 trailer coming out. There's what is?
Are they making a Ryan
I think
Gosling?
Super Mario Odyssey. No.
Oh yes,
Galaxy.
Galaxy. That'll be exciting.
What about Ryan Gosling?
Are we getting a Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie? Is that 2028 or is that
2027. It's next year.
woohoo? Do we have
The
any
Mandalorian
trailers for
Grogu.
that?
No. Mandalorian and Grogu is this May, and then Star Wars Starfighter is next May.
Ah, nice.
50th anniversary of Star Wars next year too.
That's so huge. People have got to
Yeah.
get on that. Wow.
So
Well, that's
if Marvel trailers do drop, we'll cover them, but I don't think they will. So
well definitely when the next ones come out, we'll still cover them regardless, but probably not this Sunday.
Alas.
Sigh. Well, I think that's all we really had to cover for today.
It most certainly is.
Yeah, I honestly think it's kind of quiet without Max here. We'll talk about Patreon. We have a Patreon in the link in the description. Also, there's a tag right here that I'm pointing to, but you guys can't see. But if you guys want to support us, see some exclusive bonus content that does not exist right now, but it will soon. So check out the free one.
The plan is to review some other content, the same style of conversation that we're having with this, but for other stuff. So I know for sure, maybe by myself, I don't know if anybody else will be watching it, but I'll review Maul Shadow Lord when that comes out in April.
Wow, I gotta check that out. But yeah, and then we also have, if you are a listener, and if you don't want to keep YouTube on in the car, we have a Spotify. So that'll also be linked.
And
yes.
Apple Podcasts. They're both in the link tree.
Linktree! Well, the Linktree has been getting a little crowded with merch and stuff. We have merch!
We have merch!
Buy our stuff. Alright, well, thank you all so much for watching. Comment your theories and thoughts and quandaries in the comments as always. And we will see you next week. Say something funny for the end clip.
Outro music!